Hello everyone. In this video, I will show you how to calculate cross rate. So normally we need two exchange rate to work with cross rate. So in this example, the first exchange rate we have is US dollar in Australia dollar and US dollar in Hong Kong dollar. The two cross rate we can calculate is Australia dollar in Hong Kong dollar or Hong Kong dollar in Australia dollar. Okay? So we will work it in the next slide, but the rule is you should take a note on it. First of all, you need to identify the common currency. Second, find the value of one unit of common currency in other currency. And then put the value of two non-common currency together, and finally just do the simple math. So let's work with this example. Again, we have two exchange rate, and over here $1 equal to 1.4 Australia dollar, and the second one is $1 equal to 7.8 Hong Kong dollar. Okay. So first of all, US dollar is common currency, right? Because it appears in both exchange rate. Second, we already have the value of one US dollar right here, $1, right? And here also $1 in each of the two currencies, so we don't need to do anything in this step. Now put things together. So because both of them equal to one US dollar, it means that this amount 1.4 Australia dollar equal to this amount 7.8 Hong Kong dollar. Again, the reason is both of them equal to one US dollar, right? So that one is the main equation that link Australia dollar and Hong Kong dollar together. Now, if you want to find the value of one Australia dollar, right? How can you do it? It's quite simple, right? Because in the math here is 1.4, so we can simply divide both sides of this equation by 1.4. So let's do it. You divide both sides by 1.4 and here also by 1.4. So on the right hand side, it will turn into one Australia dollar. And in the left hand side, you do the calculation. It turned into 5.5714 Hong Kong dollar. So it is exchange rate where one Australia dollar equal to 5.5714 Hong Kong dollar. Okay. Now, if you want to look at the cross rate in the other way, which is what is the value of one Hong Kong dollar in Australia dollar? So in this case, sorry, where's my cursor here? So in this case, in order to turn the 7.8 into 1, you simply divide both sides by 7.8. So here we go. 7.8 here, 7.8 here, right? So on the right hand side, it turned into 1 Hong Kong dollar. And in the left hand side, 1.4 divided by 7.8 equal to 0.1795. So it means 1 Hong Kong dollar equal to 0.1795 Australia dollar. So that is the two cross rate you can do, right? Okay, let's move on to the next example. So let's calculate, given the two exchange rate, £1 equal to 1.1 euro, and the second exchange rate, 1 euro equal to 1.2 US dollar. So we can calculate the cross rate between pound and dollar, right? So first of all, we have to identify the common currency, and clearly euro is a common currency because it appears on both exchange rate. Second, we need to, okay, let me go back in here to remind you After identify the common currency, we have to find the value of one common currency in each currency, right? So here, again, we already have the value of €1 in US dollar, which means we don't need to do anything with that rate. However, for the first exchange rate, we don't have the value of €1 in pound. So we need to calculate the value of €1 in pound. How can we do it? We apply the trick we learned before, right? In order to turn 1.1 here into 1, we simply divide both sides by 1.1. So on the right hand side, it turned into it turned into €1. And in the left hand side, when you take £1 divided by 1.1, you have 0.9091. So now at this step, we have this and we have that. Both show you the value of €1 in different currency. So we simply put those together. So over here, we have 1.2 US dollar from this quote equal to 0.9091 pound from this quote, right? Why they are equal? Because they all equal to €1. So this equation is the most important because it links US dollar and pound. So now depends on the gross rate we look for. You know the trick, right? You divide both sides by either 1.2 or 0.9091. So let's calculate the value of $1 US in pound. So the trick is, in order to turn 1.2 here into 1, how can we do it? Clearly, you simply divide both sides by 1.2. So let's look at the math. Divide by 1.2, 0.9091 divided by 1.2. So the left hand side here turn into $1 US. The right hand side, you do the math and it turned into 0.7576 pound. It means the gross rate between dollar and pound is $1 equal to 0.7576 pound. Okay. If you want to look at or you want to find the value of 1 pound in dollar, okay, so you have to turn this side into 1, and you can do it by dividing both sides by 9091, right? The right hand side turn into 1 and the left hand side turn into 1.30 right? It means that 1 pound equal to 1.32 US dollar. So it is, I hope that through example, you understand how to do the gross rate calculation. Stick to the rule and it will be simple. Thank you.